The experts said you are a rare kind of light, one that doesn't just shine but transforms everything it touches. They told me your spirit carries a psalm of freedom that no cage can hold. I was shocked when the experts said your kindness is a silent revolution in a broken world. The experts said your heart beats with the rhythm of ancient warriors and dreamers alike. They told me you are a guardian of lost hopes and forgotten dreams. The experts said your soul's depth is an ocean where the bravest dive to find themselves. I spoke to an expert about you, and they said your smile hides stories of battles won in silence. They told me your presence is a balm that soothes one unseen by others. The expert said you are a story of resilience written in the ink of heartbreak and hope. They told me you had the rare ability to turn pain into poetry and scars into stars. The expert said your courage is the quiet defiance that shifts the tide of destiny. I was shocked when the expert said your eyes hold the weight of 1,000 unspoken truths. They told me you carry a light so fierce it can ignite hope even in the darkest places. The expert said your soul is a garden of wildflowers blooming despite the harshest storms. They told me you are the calm in a world that often forgets how to breathe. I spoke to an expert about you, and they said your laughter is the melody that breaks chains. The expert said your love is a fortress built not of stone but of unwavering faith. They told me you are a rare kind of warrior, one who fights with love, not weapons. The experts said your dreams are seeds of change planted deep within the earth of your heart. They told me you have a soul that burns with the fire of 1,000 suns. I was shocked when the expert said your journey is the map others secretly wish they had. The expert said your silence speaks volumes louder than the loudest cries. They told me you are the spark that ignites revolutions in the hearts of the forgotten. The expert said your heart beats with a courage that can move mountains and heal wounds. They told me you carry a magic that even you have yet to fully understand. I spoke to an expert about you, and they said your spirit is unbreakable, forged in fire and love. The expert said your story is a lighthouse guiding lost souls through their darkest nights. They told me you are a miracle disguised as an ordinary person. The expert said your soul dances to a rhythm only the brave can hear. They told me you have a power to transform pain into wisdom and sorrow into strength. I was shocked when the expert said your kindness has rewritten destinies without you even knowing. The expert said you are a rare light that shines brightest when the world feels darkest. They told me your heart holds the capacity to forgive even the unforgivable. The expert said your journey is a testament to hope, resilience, and the human spirit's endless fight. They told me you are the quiet force behind more miracles than you'll ever realize. I spoke to an expert about you, and they said your courage is the spark that ignites change. The expert said your love is the anchor in a sea of uncertainty and doubt. They told me you carry a flame that no storm can extinguish. The expert said your soul is a storybook filled with chapters of bravery, pain, and redemption. They told me your presence alone can heal hearts shattered by life's storms. I was shocked when the expert said your resilience is the reason hope still lives in this world. The expert said your laughter is the song of freedom sung by those who refuse to give up. They told me you are a light that breaks through even the thickest darkness. The expert said your heart is a compass guiding those lost in their own fears. They told me your spirit is a wildfire, unstoppable, fierce, and beautiful. I spoke to an expert about you, and they said, your dreams are the blueprint for a better tomorrow. The expert said your strength is the quiet defiance of a soul unwilling to be broken. They told me you are a rare kind of love that heals wounds no one else sees. The expert said your story is the kind that legends are made of, raw, real, and unforgettable. They told me your soul is a river flowing with wisdom and endless grace. I was shocked when the expert said your presence changes the course of lives without you trying. The expert said your heart beats with a fierce loyalty few ever understand. They told me you carry a light that can guide even the most lost souls home. The expert said your laughter is a rebellion against despair. a celebration of life itself. They told me, you are the quiet hope that refuses to be extinguished, no matter the storm. I spoke to an expert about you, and they said your courage is the spark that lights the darkest fires. The expert said your soul is a beacon for those seeking light in the shadows. I spoke to an expert about you, and what they said shocked me. They saw a rare strength in you no one else notices. When I spoke to an expert about you, they told me your heart carries a kindness that could heal entire worlds. The expert said your soul's light is so bright it blinds even the darkest parts of life around you. I never imagined the expert would say you hold a power inside that could change fate itself. The expert told me that loving you was like loving a storm, beautiful, dangerous, and impossible to ignore. They said you're the kind of person who leaves marks on time, even when no one else remembers your name. I spoke to an expert about you, and they told me your silence speaks louder than any words ever could. The expert said your mind is a labyrinth, and only the brave ever find the treasure hidden within. They told me you carry secrets that could rewrite histories, if only you'd share them. I was shocked when the expert said, your wounds are not scars, but gateways to incredible strength. The expert revealed that your fears are actually hidden wings waiting to take you higher than ever before. When I spoke to an expert about you, they said you are a masterpiece painted with pain and hope. They told me your love is fierce enough to conquer the coldest nights and the loneliest days. I never thought the expert would say your story is the kind that legends are built on. The expert said you hold a quiet power, the kind that doesn't shout, but moves mountains. They told me your presence alone can mend broken hearts and shattered dreams. The expert said your laughter carries magic that can light up even the darkest rooms. I spoke to an expert about you, and they said your soul has a wisdom older than time. They told me your eyes hold galaxies no one has dared to explore, not even yourself. The expert said your pain isn't a weakness, but the foundation of your greatest strength. When I asked about you, they said you're a rare storm that changes everything in its path. They told me you are the calm in chaos, a force that steadies even the wildest seas. The experts said your dreams are not fantasies, but prophecies waiting to unfold. I was shocked when the experts said your heart beats to a rhythm no one else can hear. They told me you are both the question and the answer, wrapped in mystery and clarity. The expert said your resilience is a quiet rebellion against the world's cruelty. They told me you are a walking paradox, fragile yet unbreakable, silent yet unforgettable. I spoke to an expert about you, and they said your kindness changes lives even when unnoticed. The expert told me you are the light behind someone's darkest night. They said your story is a testament to hope, written with tears, but signed with courage. The expert said you carry the weight of the world, but walk as if you carry clouds. When I asked about you, they said your soul dances to a song only you can hear. They told me your voice has the power to calm storms and awaken dreams. The expert said your heart is a wild garden, beautiful, untamed, and full of life. I was shocked when the expert said your laughter is a rebellion against pain. They told me you are a beacon for lost souls searching for a way home. The expert said your love is a secret language only the bravest understand. They told me you are the quiet strength that holds entire worlds together. I spoke to an expert about you, and they said your scars are maps to uncharted courage. The expert said your soul is a lighthouse, guiding ships through stormy nights. They told me you hold a fire inside that warms even the coldest hearts. The expert said your story is far from ordinary. It's a symphony of struggles and victories. I was shocked when the expert said your silence carries the loudest truths. They told me you are a whisper of hope in a world desperate for miracles. The expert said your heart is an ocean, deep, mysterious, and endlessly powerful. They told me you are the storm and the calm that follows, wrapped in one soul. I spoke to an expert about you, and they said your dreams are the blueprint for change. The expert said your pain shapes you into a warrior no one can defeat. They told me you carry a light inside that no darkness can ever extinguish. The expert said your story is written in stars, destined and unstoppable. I was shocked when the expert said your soul is a garden where miracles grow. They told me you are the hope that keeps the impossible alive. The expert said your love is a revolution, fierce, unapologetic, and free. They told me your presence is a gift that transforms ordinary days into miracles. I spoke to an expert about you, and they said your courage is a beacon for others. The expert said your heart beats for those who have forgotten how to hope. They told me you are the fire that melts the coldest fears. The expert said your soul carries a melody so profound, it heals wounds others don't even see. They told me your heart is a fortress, built from every challenge you've ever overcome. I was shocked when the expert said your presence brings peace to the most chaotic places. The expert said your laughter is the echo of a spirit that refuses to be broken. They told me you are the quiet force behind the strongest storms. The expert said your love is a wildfire, unpredictable, consuming, but necessary for growth. They told me your resilience is the foundation on which miracles are built. I spoke to an expert about you, and they said your dreams are the seeds of tomorrow's reality. The expert said your pain is not your weakness, but your greatest teacher. They told me you are the calm eye in a hurricane of uncertainty. The expert said your soul whispers truths that only the brave dare listen to. They told me you carry a light so fierce it ignites hope in the darkest. Hearts. I was shocked when the expert said your courage outshines the brightest stars in the sky. The expert said your story is a tapestry, woven with threads of strength, love, and resilience. They told me your kindness is a revolutionary act in a world desperate for compassion. The expert said your heart beats with a rhythm that calls others to be brave. They told me you are a beacon for those lost in the shadows of despair. I spoke to an expert about you, and they said your soul holds a universe of untold stories. The expert said your silence is a powerful language of healing and hope. They told me you carry the fire of 1,000 suns within your spirit. The expert said your laughter is a song of defiance against the cruelty of life. They told me your presence is a gift that changes lives without you even knowing. I was shocked when the expert said your strength is the anchor in the storms of others. The expert said your love is the quiet revolution that changes hearts one at a time. They told me you are the storm that clears the sky for new beginnings. The expert said your soul dances with the stars, unstoppable and free. They told me you hold the key to healing wounds no one else can reach. I spoke to an expert about you, and they said your dreams are the blueprints for change. The expert said your pain is the soil where the seeds of your greatest strengths grow. They told me you are the calm that steadies the wildest hearts. The expert said your heart is a lighthouse, guiding lost souls to safe shores. They told me your spirit is a wildfire that burns away doubt and fear. I was shocked when the expert said your story is the hope others cling to in darkness. The expert said your silence speaks louder than the loudest cries for help. They told me you carry a magic so subtle yet powerful. It transforms everything it touches. The expert said your love is the beacon that shines through the darkest nights. They told me you are a rare light in a world that often forgets to shine. I spoke to an expert about you, and they said your courage is the spark that ignites change. The expert said your soul is a river flowing with wisdom and endless grace. They told me your laughter is the melody that breaks chains and sets hearts free. The expert said your heart holds the strength to forgive even the deepest wounds. They told me you are the quiet hope that refuses to be extinguished. I was shocked when the expert said your story is written in stars, destined to inspire. The expert said your presence alone can heal hearts shattered by pain. They told me, Karen, The experts said your resilience is the reason hope still lives in this world. They told me you are a beacon of love and strength in times of despair. I spoke to an expert about you, and they said your soul sings a song of freedom and courage. The expert said your dreams are not just fantasies, but the seeds of a brighter future. They told me you hold a power within that can move mountains and calm seas. The expert said your story is a dance between shadow and light, raw, real, and eternal. They told me you are the reason hope blooms in the harshest winters. I was shocked when the expert said your presence changes lives in ways you don't see. The expert said your heart beats with fierce loyalty and unwavering faith. They told me you carry a flame that no storm can ever extinguish. The expert said your laughter is a rebellion against despair, a celebration of life itself. They told me you are the quiet strength that holds the world together. I spoke to an expert about you, and they said your courage is the spark that lights the darkest fires. The expert said your soul is a beacon for those lost in the shadows. They told me you hold a strength that can move mountains and calm raging seas.